downtown Juneau. We're at the Mount Roberts Tramway. You can ride this all the way up to the top. We're here at the Mendenhall Glacier. It has a blue tint to it. I'll explain later why. Here we are right up on Mendenhall Lake. You've got some falls over there on the right, and there's the glacier. And then here's some icebergs in the water. This talks about the Mendenhall Glacier. It says, the scale of the Mendenhall Glacier is difficult to comprehend from a distance. The face stretches a half a mile across and is nearly 150 feet from top to bottom. It begins 12 miles away and 1 mile higher in the Juneau ice field. The ice melting today on the glacier's face fell as snow on the ice field about 80 years ago. Since that time, ice has traveled over 12 miles, averaging 1 to 2 feet per day, grinding up and transporting millions of tons of rocky debris. A glacier is a river of ice that moves under the pressure of its own weight. This is from inside the visitor center.
Glacier ice is blue because it's formed under great pressure. The snow that falls on Juneau ice field gets covered by about 100 feet of snow per year. The great pressure of the snow causes air bubbles to be squeezed out and a dense crystal structure is formed. It takes 80 to 150 years for ice formed on Juneau ice field to travel to the face of Mendenhall Glacier.
When a piece of ice calves off the face of the glacier, the newly exposed face of ice appears brilliantly blue. This is because the white light hitting the dense crystal structure is absorbed into the crystal, all except for the blue light, which has the right wavelength to escape.
Here's the scoring of the glacier they talked about in the movie. Here's a little bit closer to the glacier. You can see the icebergs. We're hiking up Nugget Falls up to the waterfall, I think. Lisa and Milo, I thought I'd take a picture of this for you. She had a back center wheel also. This is the upper part of the Nugget Trails hike with the falls and the Mendenhall Glacier in the background. There's Ken down there. We're at the base of Nugget Falls, and there's the glacier. Very, very nice. Here's kind of a 360 at the bottom of Nugget Falls, the trail. All the way up the mountain. We're at Mendenhall River. Ken got his annual fishing permit so that he could fish the entire trip, even though we're really not in Alaska. Probably much longer than a month. Here's a couple crew coming down and I guess blow up rafts. Looks like they're having fun. The river's really running. It's coming down off the glacier, I guess. There's a lot of paw prints around here, and some of them don't necessarily look like dogs to me. This is right past the turn to our campsite. It's the skater cabin. You can see the glacier out there. There's a lot of people out kayaking now, or boating. There's Nugget Fall where we were, and then we're camped right over there. It's Tuesday, June 8th, and we're headed back to Mendenhall Glacier again. We're going to hike up to Nugget Falls for our daily exercise and then go downtown. It's looking pretty blue today.
This is Tuesday. That's Susan in a black jacket walking up here. She wanted to go on a hike this morning. I got tired of waiting on her. She just kept dragging and dragging, so I went on ahead. I've been waiting here about 30 minutes on her. Here she comes, finally.
We're back at the falls again. The sun is out. It's not raining, it's sunny. We've got some new icebergs today that have broken off. You can see them out there. We're walking up to the Last Chance Mining Museum. There's some people over there panning for gold. Some water running down from the mountain. Here are the signals they used in the mine. It's a compressor. Here's some of the drill bits. It's really clear, so I don't know what Ken's gonna do. There's clumps taken out of these trees. The flowers are really pretty. You see them? You can see the clump out of that one. That one got knocked over. There's several knocked over. Trying to snag them. We're down at Fish Creek. Well, we're on the roll again. Here's some snow-capped mountains up above. This is a fence just covered with skis. Pretty interesting. We're at Gastineau Channel now. That's Douglas Island across the road from us. That's where we came from. But they drive down and fish off this dock. So we're going to try our luck here. I think this is Macauley Fish Hatchery. Here's how they release them down into the water. And they say this is the best place to fish. Lots of interesting stuff in this tank. Ooh, there's a big one coming by. Look at them. Some are just up there resting. This is a ramp down to the dock. It's for handicapped vehicles only. Most of these look like locals. There's an eagle out there on the third pole. He's kind of moving. He flew right over my head within like 5 feet. I wanted to show you the view. This is our camper van parked here at the National Forest, Mendenhall. And that would be the glacier. And right over there would be the waterfall. So we got pretty good view. I don't think it can be beat. Ken with his beer. I already did the dishes. I threw them in the fire. It's Wednesday, June 10th. We're headed downtown trying to get a parking spot. It's almost 8 o'clock and we're in rush hour. We're at the State Capitol building. It's one of the few without a dome because it was originally just a legislative office. So we wanted to get here for the 8:30 tour and they aren't doing tours for the next 2 years. Here's about the only thing we're going to get to see in the State Capitol. We're in the women's restroom here. It is a nice one. And here's the first floor, but we can't go anywhere else. So that's it. I'm going to show you this bear, but it's called the Windfall Fisherman, celebrating 25 years of Alaska statehood. It's got a little fish in its paw. There's the Alaska Fisherman's Building. It's the blue building. There's the City Museum. We're going to come back at 9 and go there. And there's the Capitol. This is an Alaska brown bear. Luckily it's in a case. You can see its teeth. Here's an old organ. The security guy at the front desk thought maybe they were going to play it at noon. It even has drums with it. We walked in on the 8th floor, but this is the observation deck from the state office building. You can see the cruise ships that are in. There's the building from the back side. Here's some information on the Kimball pipe organ. It's from 1928. It was dedicated and opened to the public in 1977. Here's the totem pole in the lobby of the state building. It's fairly high. I'd say it's about 4 stories high. This totem pole tells the harnessing of the atom. We've got the bald eagle, representing the United States in the purchase of Alaska from Russia. Then the Russian priest, the man in the sun, and then of course the raven. Here's a replica of Juneau in Gastineau Bay. We're at the governor's mansion now. This is the totem pole out front. This is the governor's mansion across the street. We're up on Gold Belt 9th. Some really nice houses. We're walking to the Wickersham house. This is just a blur. Prepared by Mary Pat Wyatt. This is the St. Nicholas Russian Orthodox Church, built in 1894. It's the oldest original Russian Orthodox church in Alaska. We're outside of Juneau at the Alaskan Brewing Company. We were downtown at the retail store and decided to come out here to take their brew tour.
They were young professionals. Jeff is a chemical engineer. Marcy is an accountant. And they decided that they would open up a brewery here in Juneau as a way to be able to stay in the place they wanted to live.
He's talking about nursing mothers drinking beer, which is a good thing. Well, the tour was really good. We had 3 samples inside, and now we got 3 samples outside. A good old time. I got a new hat. Yeah. We're out here at the chapel. There's St. Therese. They have stations of the cross throughout here, just around the perimeter, etc. Just overlooking the arbor. Here's the site of the chapel. There's a memorial to all the victims of abortion. But through here you can see the other stations of the cross and the chapel. Okay. These are the blizzards. I met them on the ship when I was charging all my cameras and cell phones and everything, and we ran into them out at the shrine. I was thinking maybe a bear had got him, but then I heard the fishing line. I think he's fly fishing. You fly fishing? Oh, Ken caught his first Alaskan fish. We're not sure what it is. It's about a foot long, I think. We're down here at Cowie Creek again. Ken's fishing on the edge. I'm kind of surprised we're that far away from the van after seeing the black bear. He said he just missed one. Probably wishes he had his kayak. Ken's getting stopped by the DNR. Ken got a second Dolly Varden. They're pretty bloody looking. There's the other one he caught earlier. I've had it bagged and in the fridge. Okay, we got the fish filleted, so we got dinner. I want to show you the snow-capped mountain back here from where we were fishing. That's the end of Cowie Creek. We're on our way back from fishing, headed to Juneau. This is just a lookout. You can see the snow-covered mountains in the back. Here's another stop on the way back to town. It's Thursday evening. It's our last night in Juneau. I wanted to get one last video of Mendenhall Glacier and the falls over to the right that you can barely see. So adios. We leave for Haines in the morning. We have to be to the ferry at 5 o'clock.